Hey, how's it going?
Doing pretty well.
Alright, I was in for 6:02, I believe.
8:02.
8:02. And just want to talk about the lesson a little bit and see where we go from here. So I noticed right away positives. I love the multiple representations, the pictures you used, and I could see as I was walking around, like all the kids were doing it, or 90%. Shayana got a little bit confused, and then when the kid wasn't doing it, but Shayana got a little bit confused, and I showed her what you were talking about while you were working on the other side of the room. She was like, "Oh, that's simple." So thinking about where we want to go and getting the students multiple representations, I thought that was strong. I love the fact that you did 3 guided practice questions, and then you allowed them to move on to through 4 through 10 with a partner, and you just release them to do that. That was good. Now I want to point to other part of the lesson. There were a couple of questions you asked. You asked whatever was done to one side of the equation must be done on the, and Shayana responded the other side. Then you asked, what do I have to do on both sides? Shayana said subtract. What do I do on both sides for number 3? Shayana said divide. And you said, really? What happened in the equation? And she said, oh, my bad. I thought we were on number 4. All the questions were posed to the whole class. And every answer was given by Shayana. So my question for you is, what can you do to get more kids involved?
Do some cold calling, like more, be more strategic about who I'm asking, targeting the question to people that probably, to check to see if people are actually, to see if everybody's understanding it, or if it's maybe just Shayana is the only one that understands it.
So you have to understand if everyone is on the same page as you're on. So how would you do that?
Well, I think, in that specific situation, I'd say, thank you to Shayana and say, like, I see that you can understand. I want to check with some other students, like, make it really clear that, like, I don't want just anybody calling out the answer. I want to check, but anybody needs to be prepared to answer, and kind of frame it like, okay, I'm going to call on specific people. Please do not call out. Only respond if I call on you.
Good. I'm glad that you brought that up. That's exactly what I was thinking. Cold calling is a good strategy. I know some teachers use popsicle sticks. You don't have to if you don't want to. One thing I'm going to do now is I want to actually practice this. And I'm going to pretend like I'm the students.
Okay.
But before I practice, I want you to plan. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to plan how you would frame it to the class before you started the process of cold calling. So you set that expectation up front, and then they know what's coming.
Okay.
So just take 2 minutes, plan out how you would frame it, and then I can play multiple students, and you just popcorn and pretend I'm the students. I'll cold call me, and then we'll go from there. Set?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So now, when you're generally giving the students directions, are you? Today you were sitting.
I'm usually back there.
Usually back. Okay. So I'm gonna have you go back there now.
Okay.
And I'm gonna move. Actually, I'll just stay here. I need my home. Feel better, Shayana? Alright, so whenever you're ready.
Okay. For numbers 4 to 20, I need you to work with your partner to solve for the missing variable. When the timer goes off, I'll be calling on specific individuals to share their response, so make sure that you are ready to give an answer. Go ahead and get started.
Let's pretend like that time's passed.
Okay.
Now, reiterate that point when you start now. Like, that
Timer just went off.
timer just went off, I'm gonna call on speaker. Okay, go ahead.
So right now, timer just went off. I'm going to call on specific individuals, so please hold your answers. When I call on you, you may give me your response for number 4. So, Mr. Kabor, can you tell me number 4?
For number 4, I added, and I got -2.
So what did you do to each side of the equation?
I added because originally it was subtract.
You added what to each side?
I added -1 to each side.
Okay, very good. We added -1 to each, or 1. Okay, so we added to both sides. You did that to both sides. Let's go on to number 5. We got Aaron. Can you share number 5 with us? How did you get to that answer, and what is your answer?
Aaron, I subtracted, no, I didn't. It was subtraction, so I added -2 to both sides, and I got -6.
So it was subtraction, and you added a negative. So can somebody, can I get Jaden to point out what might have gone wrong in that problem? If we have a negative number to start off, we should be canceling it out by doing the opposite, right? We should be
Adding.
Right? So
Oh, so I should have added to on both sides.
There you go. Thank you. Aaron's got it correct. He corrected himself. Thank you, Jaden, for helping him out there. Let's get number 7 from...
Let's stop there,
Okay.
and we're going to do the practice one more time.
Okay.
So I want you to start at the beginning, give all the directions, and say, make sure you, only the person I call on
Okay.
is sharing. So,
Okay.
and I'll interject as if I'm someone else that didn't follow that direction.
Right.
So before you start the timer, make sure you say, the only person we hear is the person I call on,
Right.
and then when the timer goes off, reiterate that point before you call on the first person. So let's start from the top again.
Okay. So we're going to work on numbers 4 through 20. You may work with your partner. During the next 2 minutes, I want you to work through those problems. I want you to be prepared to share your response. When the timer goes off, I will be calling on specific individuals, and those specific individuals will be the ones that are sharing their response with the class. Go ahead and get started.
Okay.
The timer just went off. Just a reminder, I will be calling on specific individuals to share. Those students that call out will owe me a merit card if they call out when it is not their, when I have not called on them. So, number 4, Shayana, can you get us started with that one?
Yeah, number 4, I added on both sides and I got -7.
You added what on both sides?
I added 2 to both sides
You
and I got
added
negative.
2 to both sides. Very good. So we did the same thing both sides. And then number 5, we have Aaron. You share how you got
Number
that.
5 is 6.
Okay, I'm going to need your merit card, Mr. Kabor. Thank you. Remember, only the individual that I call on is giving us the response. You'll get your chance to share. There's plenty to go around. So, Aaron, can you tell us number 5?
Number 5, I subtracted on both sides and I got -3.
So you subtracted what from both sides?
-2 from both sides.
You subtracted a negative. Now, if we have a negative in the original, Jaden, can you help him out there and tell him what mistake he might have made?
I know it. I should have added on both sides.
Is that Aaron?
Yeah. Aaron.
Okay. So Aaron corrected himself. Very good, Aaron. But that's a confusing one. So.
Sorry, we can stop there. So come on back. All right, I'm going to put this back up here. So what point in the lesson was this? The interaction with Shayana?
Well, this one was a little bit unusual because there's a lot of stuff that, like, I just wanted to start off with stuff that we've seen before. So I would call it guided practice.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree that it was guided practice. So this is the time during the lesson where you're going to frame every time that you, if all the questions from you are going to the whole group, you're going to frame to them that only the student I call on is the one that's answering.
Yeah.
And let's give yourself a goal. So how many students will you try to get to each time? Given today, everything was between you and Shay,
Right.
and the energy level give yourself a goal. How many students are you gonna get to during that practice?
In general, or for today's lesson was nice because there were a lot of different like quick examples.
On
In
average.
general, I'd say 3.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you can get to 3 students.
Yeah. Well, and then maybe like the higher order questioning with like an extra one. You know, like if it's something where somebody says they don't know how to do it or they make a mistake, then having somebody else correct it can be a 4th one, I think.
And have someone else directed to be the 4th student. Okay. Okay. So I put that in my notes. You want to put that in yours? And so I'm the 4th student. Okay, so I want you to recap for me. So I'll be in tomorrow. And tomorrow's schedule.
First and second period. And then
Look at my calendar. Yeah, I'll be in second period.
Okay.
That's with
801.
801. And then I'm going to try to, and I'll also come back in right after. So second period and third period for 803.
I don't have 803 on.
Tuesday?
That's the old one.
This is the old one, okay.
Yeah.
So 801,
801
second
is
period.
second period, yeah. And then I have 803 right after lunch.
And 803 after. So I'll be in for those 2 tomorrow. I want to see how this works with 2 different sets of,
Yeah.
of programs.
That's one thing I guess I wanted to ask about. So with 802, it was